Brace up, guys. In this lesson, we'll learn about the last kingdom in the classification of living things. Kingdom Animalia, the kingdom of animals. Kingdom Animalia is my favorite because it's the kingdom that you and I belong to. Organisms of Kingdom Animalia fall into two groups. The invertebrates fall into the first group, Invertebrata. Invertebrates are animals without a vertebral column or backbone. Those with backbones or vertebral columns belong to the other group, Vertebrata. Let's start out with the invertebrates. They are divided into 8 phyla. The first is Porifera, phylum Porifera. The organisms in this phylum are simple aquatic animals that live in colonies. Their adults do not move about, but their young ones do. The adults stay glued to structures like rocks. Sponges are a typical example of the organisms in this group, and there are several types of sponges. The second invertebrate phylum is Coelenterata. Like poriferans, coelenterates are also aquatic animals, and they have 2-layered bodies. They possess cnidocytes. These are tentacles with stinging cells which they use to capture prey. This is why coelenterates are sometimes referred to as cnidarians. Coelenterates have soft bodies, as we observe in bell-shaped medusa like jellyfish and polyps like hydra. The next phylum is phylum Platyhelminths. These are flatworms, most of which are human and animal parasites. Tapeworms, planaria, and liver flukes are platyhelminths. Platyhelminths are tripoblastic, meaning they have 3 body layers. They have an outer layer called the ectoderm, a middle layer called the mesoderm, and an inner layer called the endoderm. They are hermaphroditic, meaning that they have both male and female reproductive organs, and they reproduce sexually. Nematoda is the next phylum. Nematodes are round and cylindrical. Like the platyhelminths, they also have 3 body layers. Some nematodes are free-living, and several others are animal and plant parasites. Examples include roundworms and hookworms. Phylum Annelida is next. Annelids are animals with long, segmented tubular bodies. They have 3-layered bodies as well. Some are terrestrial and others are aquatic. Annelids include earthworms, leeches, and tubeworms. Mollusca is also another phylum. Mollusks are basically animals with shells, although not all of them have shells. Mollusks have unsegmented bodies and some have tentacles. Their bodies are covered with a mantle. A mantle is a soft body tissue. Mollusks include snails, periwinkles, squids, and octopuses. Animals with jointed legs or appendages belong to the phylum Arthropoda. Arthropods have hard exoskeletons, which are largely composed of chitin. An arthropod's body is divided into 3 segments: a head, thorax, and an abdomen. The phylum Arthropoda is divided into 4 classes. Class Crustacea comprises of prawns, crabs, and crayfish. Locusts, grasshoppers, termites, cockroaches, butterflies, and houseflies belong to class Insecta. Spiders, ticks, and scorpions belong to the class Arachnida, while centipedes and millipedes belong to class Myriapoda. The last phylum of the invertebrate group is the phylum Echinodermata. Echinoderms are predominantly marine animals with spiny skin and 3-layered, non-segmented bodies. They also have feet with tiny tubes for movement. Sea urchins and starfish are typical examples. That's that for the invertebrate group. Let's move over to the vertebrate group. Remember, vertebrates are animals with backbones. Vertebrates belong to the phylum Chordata. Chordates have notochords at one point or the other in their life cycles. There are 5 classes in the phylum Chordata. Let's start with the first. Pisces, the fish class. Tilapia and sharks are typical examples, and of course they are aquatic. Class Amphibia is next. Frogs and toads belong to this class. They spend part of their life on land and some time in water. Then there's class Reptilia. Reptiles are predominantly terrestrial, although some may reproduce and spend time in water. Lizards, snakes, and crocodiles are examples. Class Aves is next, and it is composed of several kinds of birds, some of which can fly and some that cannot. Aves are warm-blooded, unlike Pisces, Amphibia, and Reptilia that are cold-blooded. Warm-blooded animals are animals that maintain a constant body temperature regardless of the temperature of their immediate environment. Aves are easily recognized by their feathers, some of which are very colorful. The 5th class under the phylum Chordata is called class Mammalia. Mammals are hairy and are warm-blooded like aves. Most mammals give birth to their young ones alive. That is, they are viviparous. We'll learn more about mammals in related lessons. Mammals include humans, monkeys, cows, and rats. We've learned a lot about Kingdom Animalia and we'll stop here. I hope you can still recall the phyla and the examples of organisms in each phylum. I'll see you soon.